My name's Bruce Briggs. We farm at Stonington, Illinois, which is about 20 miles south of Decatur. And we farm about 1,600 acres here and in a fairly narrow radius, so we're pretty fortunate.
Corn and soybeans?
Corn and soybeans.
Well, in 2009, you planted some Asgrow Genuity Roundup Ready to Yield soybeans. Share with us, if you would, what the experience was like.
It was the first year they were available, and we had one variety that we planted, and we were fortunate to find a 5-bean pod in there, and that was kind of exciting, where it used to be a rarity to find 4-bean pods. And now it seems like in the Roundup Ready to Yield Genuity beans, it's fairly common to find 4-bean pods, and it's a rarity to find 5. But where it used to be mostly 2- and 3-bean pods, now you're finding mostly 3- and 4-bean pods, which just has to add up to more yield.
Bruce, in an operation like yours, what is this technology going to mean to you?
Well, Monsanto spends a lot of money on research and development, and it just keeps us on the cutting edge of farming, and we just try and do, management-wise, try and do the little things now. The days are pretty much over when your goal is 50 bushel beans, and now we're shooting for more of the 70 and 80 bushel beans. And I think with these new Genuity Roundup Ready to Yield soybeans, I think that's a pretty good goal.
When new products like Asgrow Genuity Roundup Ready to Yield soybeans come along, what are some of the things that you use to evaluate before you decide what you're going to do the next year?
Well, we spent a lot of time in the fall and the late fall going over yield data from third-party yield data that we get and company yield data, and we just we strive to pick the varieties then for next year that are pretty, that do well throughout a pretty wide geographic area, and we also usually have a yield plot of our own that we run, and we try and use some of the data from that also.
Did you see much of a yield advantage last year?
Yeah, we had very good soybeans. We were lucky. We had an overall yield of around between 62 and 63 bushel overall acres last year. We were pretty pleased with that, and that was just the first year that Roundup Ready to Yield beans were out, and we're just really excited about the new varieties that are coming along, and I think we've got a possibility of having some really good beans this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as 2010 is concerned, you have more acres. How do the beans look?
They look very well. We've had about as close to a perfect growing season right here as you could expect, and we've had a couple dry periods when we thought we could probably use the rain, and then we ended up getting it. So and the only kicker might be compaction from leftover from last year, from the conditions we had to harvest corn in last year. That could be a limiting factor this year, but I don't expect it to make a whole big difference.
Anything else about the Asgrow Genuity Roundup Ready to Yield soybeans that you'd like to mention?
Well, like I said, it's very common to find the 3 and of course the 3 and a lot of 4-bean pods out there, and not that you need that many beans in a pod, but it just equates to me that there's going to be some good yield there.